Oh my goodness gracious. This turned out to be a hell of a 2025. Bioware layoffs begin as EA purges Dragon Age to Veilguard activist developers. Is this true? Let's cue up the music and we're going to talk about this. Alright, so it looks like the Bioware layoffs have officially begun in the wake of Dragon Age to Veilguard's catastrophic failure. Despite Bioware's initial restructuring announcements noting it would be moving team members to other EA divisions and avoiding the word layoffs entirely, the reality has now become clear. Developers who worked on Veilguard are being cut. This is what I hoped for. I was hoping they'd target the right people. I was hoping the activists would get the axe, be shown the door, thrown out on their ass, sent to the streets. Yes. I don't know if this is true or not, but, we're going to see where this story develops into and make our own judgments here. Anyway, this comes shortly after Veilguard director Corinne Bush's exit, like a rat from a sinking ship, which was framed as a voluntary departure, though few believe the disgraced director left by choice after overseeing one of the most disastrous releases in BioWare's history. Any of you who've worked in any industry, any corporate job, and saw the way Corinne went out, or Andrew, whatever his name is, and the goodbye he gave, it's a thinly veiled, I got fired, but they let me save a little bit of my dignity by letting me step down statement. And a lot of places will do that for you, especially in a high profile position for whatever reason. I don't know why they did that to him personally. I would have chucked him out the door and just been like, get out of here, and filmed the whole thing and live streamed it, But hey, that's just me. I'm a different kind of guy. I'm an old school guy. I wouldn't have given him the benefit of the doubt. And I definitely wouldn't have allowed him to have any dignity after what he did to my studio, the way he wasted my money, the way he wasted a decade of my team's talents and their work. Yeah, no thanks, man. You would have been out on the streets in a heartbeat, and all your shit would have been thrown in the lawn like an angry girlfriend, set it on fire. Anyway, yesterday BioWare released a statement in a post on the studio's official blog. Studio general manager Gary McKay announced that the company shifting its focus entirely to the next Mass Effect game, effectively sidelining Dragon Age after the latest installment's disastrous reception. Given the stage of development, we don't require support from the full studio, McKay said. We have incredible talent here at BioWare, and so we've worked diligently over the past few months to match many of our colleagues with other teams at EA that had open roles that were a strong fit. But apparently he didn't mean all of our colleagues. Among those let go are Trick Weeks and Karen West Weeks, two longtime BioWare vets who confirmed their departures on Blue Sky. Yay. Trick Weeks, who served as Veilguard's lead writer, previously worked on every game and expansion in the original Mass Effect trilogy, Dragon Age Origins, and Inquisition. Karen Weeks, an editor with credits on Mass Effect 2, 3, Andromeda, and multiple Dragon Age titles, was also removed. The BioWare layoffs extend beyond writing staff, with producers, system designers, analysts, and other team members also cut as EA guts the studio to refocus on Mass Effect. Both Trick and Karen confirmed they were let go through posts on Blue Sky. Hello, Karen says, hello, I'm looking for work, ideally in an editor role. It's been an honor to work with so many talented professionals and a pleasure to meet so many amazing community members in my 19 years at BioWare. I'm so grateful to all of you. Trickweek says, I'm now looking for a new writing narrative position. It's been a privilege to work with so many, wow, it's almost the same thing, so many amazing developers over my 20 years at BioWare, and I will cherish the memories of all the wonderful folks in the community I've met along the way. Thank you all. So they've both worked on some good stuff. I mean, looking back, lead writer working on games like the original Mass Effect trilogy, Dragon Age Origins, Inquisition, and the other one working on Mass Effect 2, 3, okay, a couple Dragon Age titles, you have some pedigree there. It's a shame, I don't know what happened, where things went wrong along the way, but, if you're the lead writer on Dragon Age to Veilguard, man, Wow. Unless you had a gun held to your head while you were writing that, yeah, you should be let go. You should be gone from that company because the Bioware layoffs extend well beyond the high-profile departures of Dragon Age of Veilguard's leads writer and editor. More key developers across multiple disciplines have also been shown the door as EA continues its aggressive restructuring of the studio. Among them is Ryan Cormier, an editor who worked with or on Star Wars The Old Republic, Anthem, and Veilguard. His departure further signals that BioWare is moving away from the team responsible for the most recent and humongous flop, likely in an attempt to salvage what remains of the studio's reputation. Also cut was Jennifer Chevry, a longtime BioWare veteran who served as a tester, analyst, and producer on multiple projects, major projects, including Mass Effect 3, Dragon Age Inquisition, Anthem, and Veilguard. With her exit, BioWare shedding another figure tied to its modern development pipeline, one that has largely struggled to deliver the kind of quality experiences that define the studio's golden era. So this is, a lot of these guys are old school, at least semi-old school, which is crazy. I guess through the years they either became corrupted or what, or I don't know. Who are you going to replace them with? That's the thing, right? If you worked on Veilguard and you contributed to that piece of crap and you encouraged it, well, yeah, you should go. I don't care if you've been there 1 year or 20 years. You should go. So it was a terrible year. And I guess if you look at the grand scheme of things, if you worked for BioWare for 19 years and you spent 10 years working on Veilguard, that's half your career working on that piece of crap. What'd you do the other 10 years? I don't know. Were you a major contributor before that? Did you just have small roles? Were you just doing little things before then? Was this your big break that you became the lead writer? If that's the case, then yeah, maybe you should go. But in any case, if you're activist, man, yeah, you don't belong in this industry. And I hope you get blackballed from it and never work again in gaming. Or if you do, you just end up working for these little indie studios that want to put out their little indie games and, make a little bit of money and work with small budgets. And more power to them, man. If that's what you want to do, guys, more power to you. Put out your little niche games to your niche market and have at it, Small budget, small profit. But God bless you, man. Make yourself happy, make your people happy, right? Right. Anyway, layoffs didn't the layoffs didn't stop there. Daniel Steed, a producer who worked on Star Wars The Old Republic, Legacy of the Sith, and Veilguard is out. Lena Anderson, a senior product manager. Michelle Flam, a systems designer. And Mad B, the UX designer, were also cut. The latest development further highlights the fallout from the Veilguard's commercial disaster. EA had projected the game would sell over 10 million copies across its lifespan. Indeed, it barely managed to engage, quote, 1.5 million players, with reports indicating over 30,000 returns and widespread retail discounting. GameStop recently slashed the price of brand new copies to $24.99, a staggering 65% drop from its launch price of $70, and tanked its trade-in value after just 1 week. It's a clear sign that demand has completely cratered, leaving EA scrambling to mitigate the damage. PlayStation Plus is offering it already for a discount, I think 40% off, something like that. Pretty steep discount. And this is a game that came out a handful of months ago, right? This is a game that got 9 out of 10 from IGN. A game that, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable how the shills went for it. The BioWare layoffs are a direct response to the studio's failure to connect with players as Veilguard prioritized identity politics over compelling storytelling and world building. Fans rejected the game's tone and lack of depth, leading to its financial collapse. With the developers responsible now being shown the door, EA appears to be acknowledging that this direction was a mistake. At the same time, BioWare has assured fans that the next Mass Effect is in the hands of veterans from the original trilogy, including Mike Gamble, Preston Watamanowick, Derek Watts, and Parrish Lay. Unlike Veilguard, which alienated its core audience, this announcement might signal a, quote, return to form for the franchise, but there's no guarantee of that. Now, we did hear some rumors and whispers of them This being kind of like a Trojan horse, a false front that they're putting out, saying that there's not going to be any woke garbage in it and all that, and then they're going to sneak it in patches later on. That sounds very nefarious and a little paranoid to me. I don't see that being a thing, but let me tell you, man, if that was a thing, whew, yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. That would destroy my relationship with any developer that did that for the rest of that developer's lifespan. I don't care who came and went from there. I would never buy from that developer again. I'd be done. Found out who was responsible for it. I'd watch that person's career closely and never deal with anything they worked on again. That would be done. I don't see them doing that. I'm hoping this is part of the greater trend in the country and what's going to be in the world of pushing back against identity politics. Identity politics has done nothing. It was supposed to create this weird, I don't know, utopia, this weird, everybody gets along, everybody's equal and all this other crap. And it didn't do that. All it did was create division amongst people. It put everybody into little boxes and it made everybody, it really divided everybody on so many different ways. And it created tribalism in ways that just didn't exist 10 years ago. And it was insane, right? Here in the United States, we're not perfect. We've never been perfect. But 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we were way, way more advanced on getting along than we are today. Everybody got along so much better 15 years ago than they do now. Why? Because we didn't have this progressive agenda in full effect. We didn't have these Marxist lunatics pushing these weird ideologies on everybody and literally forcing people to bow down to them and to comply. I mean, in California, misgendering somebody is a crime. I think in New York it's the same thing. It might only be New York City. It might be a city ordinance or whatever, but still, misgendering somebody is a crime. Think about that. That's utter insanity. I used to walk into the restaurant with all the cooks and the kitchen, like, what's up, ladies? They're all dudes. You know, that's like multiple offenses right there if I was in California, right? Oh, wow. It just makes no sense. So, yeah, it did nothing but divide people and destroy relations between the sexes, destroyed race relations. It just, wow. It encouraged mental illness. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the Bioware layoffs mark a major shift for the studio. EA is clearly trying to distance itself from Veilguard's failure and rebuild Bioware around its more successful franchises. With Mass Effect now its sole focus, the studio has one last chance to regain the trust of players and prove it can still deliver a great RPG. Whether it succeeds or not remains to be seen, but at least this time it won't be bogged down by the same mistakes that doomed Veilguard. Hopefully. What do you guys think, man? You think the layoffs are going to do better for this company now? Do you think things are going to change? Do you think this is from the, well, you know, nothing's from the heart with a company. It's always about making money at the end of the day. You know, they didn't go that route because they believed in non-binary people and that whole trans agenda and all that. They did it because they thought that was the right thing to do to make money, because they thought everybody felt like people on Twitter, and we don't. You know what I mean? They thought that everybody wanted pronouns in their bio, and we don't. You know, they thought that's the way the world was, and the world turned out it's not like Twitter in real life. It's totally not like Twitter. So it's always about making money. Let's not fool ourselves. But at least now the tide's turned and things are going back to normal. You know, the world's going back to balance and being normal again. And we're not having to look at all this nonsense. Companies like Walmart, Target, Harley Davidson, they're all rejecting this kind of stuff. I think even Victoria's Secret is going back to actually having attractive models instead of whales, and you know, just the freak show that they had. It was whatever, man. I mean, really, whatever. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'm going to keep a careful eye on EA and Bioware over the next few months. Going to see what happens with this. I hope this is a change for the better. I hope, you know, If it is, and they sell, and Mass Effect 5 or whatever they're going to call it, the new Mass Effect game, if it's a hit, I can guarantee you they don't go back to that other garbage. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. As always, Captain Beefy, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you next time. Until then, peace.